Welcome to the 88th edition of La Flèche Wallonne, cycling's annual pilgrimage up the magnificent Mur de Huy. Last year, Tadej Pogačar mastered the Mur, but the Slovenian isn't here to defend his title as he prepares for the Giro d'Italia. We do have two former winners on the start line though, in Dylan Teuns and Mark Hirschi.
Our shape is quite similar. I showed some good form already. Give me some confidence for the next races.
Matthias Skjelmose was second behind Pogačar last year and would love to go one better, while the 2020 runner-up at Benoit Cosnefroy showed his form by winning Brabantse Pijl last week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm confident from last year. I felt like last year's race was my real breakthrough, and yeah, now today is not here, and I feel even better, so I hope I can take a step up.
Tom Pidcock won the Amstel Gold Race on Sunday, but he says Flèche Wallonne is a very different beast.
I've never got it right here. I've always, last year I came in really far back. I didn't recover from Amstel last year. That was, yeah, but this year I think I'm in a different place, and that's, yeah, it's a tricky one. It's tactical, and I think there's a few guys who can go really fast at the top of that hill, and yeah, we'll see.
Some changes to the route this year as the 175 riders cover just under 200 kilometres between Charleroi and Huy. The Côte de Chérave is no longer part of the finishing circuit due to roadworks, but the peloton will go up the Mur de Huy no fewer than 4 times as we celebrate the race's 40th finish on the iconic climb. The weather could also be a big factor, with heavy rain forecast in the afternoon. It was bright enough during the first few hours of racing, with the riders clipping along at over 42 kilometres an hour. 6 men made the breakaway, opening up a gap of around 4.5 minutes. Lilian Calmejean of Intermarché Wanty, Alain Jussomme of Total Energies, James Whedon of Q36.5, Igor Chazan of Astana Kazakhstan, Johan Mainz of Bingoal and Shomin Joao-Risti of Euskaltel Euskadi. Lidl Trek and Ineos Grenadiers were pacing the peloton on behalf of Skjelmose and Pidcock, and the gap soon began to tumble, especially when the heavens opened with around 100 kilometres to go. The leaders heading up the Mur de Huy for the first time with around 3 minutes in hand, but these conditions were going to turn the race into a real slog. Soon, many of the pre-race favourites were really struggling. Teuns was the first of the big names to drop. The Belgian wouldn't be repeating his exploit of 2 years ago. Meanwhile, plenty of riders were no doubt getting excited at what was turning into the most open Flèche Wallonne in years. Well, nothing like a nice midweek ride in Belgium. Mainz and Joao-Risti were the last of the breakaway riders to be caught, and there was still a long way to go, over 60 kilometres. Onto the second climb of the Mur de Huy, with more favourites blowing up. First it was Matthias Skjelmose, and then the 2020 winner, Mark Hirschi.
That's a surprise. Hirschi now is being distanced on the Mur de Huy.
Valentin Madouas leading the way over the summit. There were still a lot of strong riders in this peloton, and soon one of them decided to try his luck solo. Søren Kragh Andersen flying away with 60k to go, with Markus Holgaard chasing in vain. It has been over 20 years since we had a solo winner at this race, but the Dane looked like a man on a mission. He led by over a minute as they made their way to the Mur for the 3rd time. Could Kragh Andersen hold on over the punishing final lap? The alarm bell starting to ring back in the peloton as riders decided to attack and try to hunt Kragh Andersen down. Stevie Williams was the first man on his tail, and the Welshman will be joined by 4 others: Maxime Van Hils, Kevin Vauquelin, Santiago Buitrago and Richard Carapaz. Uno X then upping the tempo from the peloton, and slowly but surely they began to reel the Dane back in. The peloton first at catching this chase group and then putting Kragh Andersen out of his misery on the Côte d'Eref. Everybody back together again before the decisive final hike up the Muur de Huy.
Here's that very difficult corner. Decathlon Agi du Zé Le Mondial represented on the left-hand side.
This is where we've just passed through Virage Claude Cariclion, where the gradients are at 26%. You can see how much you have to bide your time. Carapaz is there, just waiting to strike. Riders starting to go backwards. One of those from Groupama FDJ.
Cosnefroid is there, Carapaz in the pink, Scoins, and still there's no attack. Johannesson right-hand side. Williams is getting set, and Williams decides now is the time. Williams accelerates away. What a show of power by Stephen Williams as he now goes for glory. Has he gone at the right time? Has he gone a little bit too early? Williams has played an absolute blinder today. He's made every single move he has to. Stephen Williams of Israel Premier Tech, only about 100 meters to go, being hunted down now by the peloton behind. Buitrago is there. Williams checks one more time. He's being chased, and he's being chased hard. Is Williams going to go all the way to the finish and be the first British winner of the Flèche Wallonne? He's almost there now. Here comes the attack behind. Williams of Israel Premier Tech. Can he get to the finish line, or is he going to be caught? Stephen Williams wins Flèche Wallonne, the first British winner of the Flèche Wallonne.
It's already been a fantastic year for Stevie Williams as he won the Tour Down Under in January, and now he becomes the first ever British rider to win La Flèche Wallonne. The Welshman joining his teammate Turns and his DS Rick Verbrugge on the honour roll. And it was a superb final attack as he secured his 8th career success.
What a day, what a day. I'm so happy right now. Just can't believe I just won Flèche. I've been watching this race for years, and I've always wanted to come here with decent legs to try and win it. And yeah, today with the weather, I do enjoy racing in this kind of weather, and yeah, to come away with the victory, and I was just over the moon.
Williams taking it ahead of Vauquelin, Van Hils, Cosnefroid and Buitrago. 4 of the riders who chased down Kragh Andersen ended up in the top 5. 27-year-old Williams conquering the first classic of his career as we now switch our focus to Sunday. Pogacar and Mathieu van der Poel will be back in town for the 4th monument of the season, Liège-Bastogne-Liège. Join us then, and thanks for watching.